Igor had always been drawn to nature ever since his childhood days. Growing up in a rural area where animals roamed freely, he developed a deep respect for wildlife. His home in the taiga wilderness, a vast expanse of forested land in Russia, allowed him the rare opportunity to spend time outdoors and connect with nature on a daily basis. One particular day, during one of his many walks through the dense forest, he heard a faint, plaintive sound, a squeak so soft that at first he thought he had imagined it. Intrigued, Igor followed the sound until he found the source, a tiny owlet lying on the ground. The baby bird, a white polar owlet, appeared to have fallen out of its nest. Its small body trembled in the cool breeze, and despite its attempts to move, it was clearly too weak to survive on its own. Igor looked up, scanning the trees for any sign of the mother owl, but there was none. The white owl, a powerful predator of the tundra, should have been nearby. Yet, there was no sign of her. He waited for a while, hoping the mother would come back, but as the minutes passed, it became clear that the chick had been abandoned or lost. Igor couldn't just leave the helpless creature there, knowing it wouldn't survive the night. Gently, he scooped the little owlet into his jacket, cradling it close to keep it warm. The tiny creature's feathers were soft against his chest as he carried it back to his home. Once there, Igor set about making a small nest for the owlet, using a basket lined with soft cloths to create a cozy, secure environment. He decided to name the tiny bird Nucha. Over the next few days, Igor devoted his time to nursing the fragile creature back to health. He researched what baby owls ate, learning that Nucha needed a diet of insects and small morsels of food. Feeding her every 2 hours was exhausting, but Igor's care and dedication paid off as the little owlet began to regain her strength. Those early days were filled with challenges. Nucha was weak and lethargic, barely moving, and often falling asleep mid-meal. Igor's heart ached for the little bird, but he knew that with patience and time, she could grow strong. Slowly, Nucha's vitality returned. She began to flap her tiny wings and peck at her food on her own, her once helpless form gradually transforming into a stronger, livelier bird. Igor smiled as he watched her make progress, knowing that his efforts were making a difference. As weeks passed, Nucha grew into a beautiful young owl. Her white feathers began to fill in, and she developed the characteristic proud and determined demeanor typical of her species. She no longer needed constant care, but she remained closely bonded to Igor. She enjoyed perching on his shoulder, watching him with her sharp, curious eyes as he went about his day. It was around this time that Igor decided to adopt another animal, a dog. He had always wanted a companion for his nature walks and thought it would be good for Nucha to have another animal around. After searching for the perfect match, Igor brought home a blue-eyed husky puppy he named Alona. With her thick fur and boundless energy, Alona was a bundle of joy from the start. However, Nucha wasn't as excited about the new addition to the household. At first, Nucha was scared of the hyperactive puppy. She kept her distance, watching from her perch as Alona darted around the house, her paws skidding across the floor in excitement. Igor made sure to supervise their interactions closely, ensuring that neither animal would harm the other. He had seen the playful energy in Alona and the cautious curiosity in Nucha, and he hoped that over time they would grow accustomed to one another. And indeed, over the next few weeks, the dynamic between the two slowly began to change. Alona's endless curiosity led her to approach Nucha, her nose twitching as she sniffed the bird's feathers. At first, Nucha would fluff up in response, nervous and unsure of this strange creature. But as Alona made no attempts to harm her, Nucha's fear began to subside. Their interactions started cautiously but soon blossomed into a playful friendship. Nucha would hop across the room, flapping her wings while Alona chased after her, never too fast, always mindful of the owl's fragility. Their games became a daily ritual, and soon enough, the two were inseparable. At night, they would curl up together on a shared rug in the corner of the room, Alona's fluffy body providing warmth to Nucha, who would nestle close to the Husky's side. As the seasons passed, Nucha grew into a large, proud bird, and Alona matured into a strong, graceful husky. Their bond, however, only deepened with time. What had started as tentative interactions had blossomed into a remarkable friendship. Igor often marveled at the sight of his owl perched on the back of his dog during their walks through the forest. Nucha, despite her predatory instincts, had become incredibly gentle, particularly around Alona. They would explore the wilderness together, Alona running ahead, her sharp blue eyes scanning the terrain, while Nucha soared above, her wings outstretched, gliding effortlessly through the air. The two communicated in their own way, Alona with her playful barks and Nucha with her soft hoots. Igor loved watching them interact, and he knew that their bond was something truly special. But their friendship wasn't just built on play and exploration. It also relied on trust and loyalty. One summer afternoon, while Nucha and Alona were playing in the yard, a neighborhood cat slinked toward them, his eyes locked on Nucha. The cat, unaware of Alona's protective nature, hissed at the owl, his back arched in a show of aggression. In a flash, Alona was at Nucha's side, barking furiously and chasing the cat away. Nucha, startled but unharmed, understood in that moment that her friend would always protect her. As the years went by, Nucha and Alona became the stars of their neighborhood. Their friendship was so unique and heartwarming that people from all over the area would stop by to see them. Igor often found himself telling the story of how he had rescued Nucha from the wilderness and how, against all odds, the owl and the dog had become best friends. The bond between the two animals touched the hearts of many, proving that friendship knows no bounds. The companionship between Nucha and Alona served as a powerful reminder of how two creatures, so different in nature, could form a deep connection. Their love and friendship transcended species, showing that kindness, trust, and loyalty are universal. Igor often thought about how lucky he was to witness such a beautiful bond firsthand. Life continued peacefully for Igor, Nucha, and Alona. The three of them shared countless adventures, exploring the vast taiga wilderness and spending quiet evenings together at home. Igor couldn't imagine his life without them. Nucha, with her graceful flight and piercing eyes, and Alona, with her playful spirit and unwavering loyalty, brought immense joy into his life. As Nucha and Alona grew older, their friendship only deepened. They no longer had the wild energy of their youth, but they still enjoyed each other's company just as much. Alona, now a fully grown husky, was gentle and patient with Nucha, while the owl in turn remained fiercely loyal to her canine companion. The bond between Nucha and Alona was something that could never be broken. They had found each other by chance, but their friendship had become the heart of Igor's home. They were a reminder that despite differences, love and friendship can flourish in the most unexpected ways. Nucha and Alona's story spread far and wide, inspiring others to cherish the relationships they had with their own pets and to see the beauty in the connections that form between different species. Igor continued to share their story with pride, knowing that Nucha and Alona were more than just pets. They were a symbol of the enduring power of love and friendship, a testament to the idea that no matter how different we may be, we can always find common ground.